Last weekend, Supernova went down in Chantilly, Virginia, and top players from across the world flew in to attend. Today, we'll be going over every notable event at Supernova, going over the entire tournament in chronological order to give you a full rundown of events. As Supernova, formerly Super Smash Con, opened up a new season of competitive Smash. Yes, if you didn't know, the top 10 players in the world were revealed at Supernova on stage, and if you missed it going down live, there's already a video up on this channel about it. So go give it a watch if you haven't already. Also of note, in the lead up to Supernova itself, 2 tournaments were run as pre-local invitationals, though neither of them were counted for the rankings, as LumiRank decided to treat all pre-local invitationals as they do normal pre-locals and not count them. Though that doesn't mean that these tournaments weren't notable, as Tarek, Candle, Nao, and Ashimo all had good performances across the 2 tourneys. Along with those 4, all eyes were on the top 10 seeds of the event, ironically consisting of the top 10 players from the revealed rankings, though not in the same order. And while Thursday just consisted of fun times like the rankings reveal and the combo contest, the Smash Ultimate Singles bracket got underway on Friday morning, giving us our first notable events of the tourney. Underway on Friday morning. The combo contest, the Smash Ultimate Singles bracket got underway on Friday morning, giving us our first notable events of the tourney. To start off, Leon, Andres FN, and Quid DQ'd from the bracket. The 3 high seeds who dipped out of bracket, Andres FN, us our first notable events of the tourney. To start off, Leon, Andres FN, and Quid DQ'd from the bracket. The 3 high seeds who dipped out of bracket at the last minute. But as pools got underway, 15th seed Mutace had a really close call against Terry main Onyx. A Game 3 last hit scenario where Onyx landed a critical Buster Wolf. But some godly DI and a clutch back air later, Mutace was able to avoid the upset by the skin of his teeth. However, someone who wasn't able to avoid the upset in round 1 pools was Dark Wizzy, the 92nd seed who got upset by Natro, a Banjo main who was a Virginia native. This set would have likely been a 2-0 for Natro, but an SD allowed Dark Wizzy to bring us to a Game 3, wherein Natro then clutched up to make the upset in 2-1 fashion, which clocked in at an upset factor 5 and signified the first major upset of Supernova. On that note, another Mario main got upset after this, namely the 123rd seed Dominator, who lost to Joker main Flarp for an upset factor 4 win. Other victims of massive upsets include Nero's, the French Pikachu main and 53rd seed who lost to Mr. Thugs, a Bowser Jr. main, 2-1 for an upset factor of 6. If that's not high enough of an upset for you though, you'll be pleased to hear that Olimar main and 62nd seed MFA lost 2-1 to Swagmaster, a Kazuya main, for an upset factor 7 win. Speaking of Olimars and upset factor 7s, fan favorite and 46th seed Candle suffered a big upset in pools. After having won against Akola and placing 2nd at one of the pre-locals, Candle lost 2-1 to Pichu main Lemon Shark, which, as I mentioned earlier, clocked in at an upset factor 7. This fan favorite, one of the 4 people who popped off at the pre-locals, ended up becoming a victim of the pre-local curse. Our next victim is Beck99, previously known as Demon, the 114th seed of the event who lost to T-Day the Dr. Mario main 2-1 for an upset factor 4. And as far as Phase 1 pools goes, that's it for major upsets, which brings us all the way through Friday and Saturday morning. Despite the few upsets we've already mentioned, most of the top seeds made it through pools without incident, including your favorites here at Luminosity. Tweak ended up dropping a game to Bowser Jr. main Riddell Castro, but managed to clutch out the set to make it out of Phase 1 pools on winner's side. Sonic swept Phase 1 pools without dropping a single game, as did MKLeo. And lastly, Mars also dominated Phase 1, with all 4 attending Ultimate Luminosity members making it into Phase 2 pools from winner's side. From here, it was off to Phase 2 and Phase 3 pools. And while Phase 2 was still BO3, Phase 3, otherwise known as Top 128, would begin the best of 5s. So let's see who would and wouldn't make the cut. From here, there were a lot more upsets, major and minor, and I won't be going over all of the minor upset factor 1s and 2s. I'll only be focusing on the big ones, or ones that are relevant to a certain storyline. The first of these upsets was against Mudace, who already had a close call in Phase 1, if you remember.
Here we go.
A Pac-Man named Isaiah from my home region of Kansas.
Let me lock back in. Let me go back in time and go through a couple of different things. If Johnson's still here, thank you. I appreciate it. And you're awesome as well. Life's been pretty good. Jonesy, how are you doing? I did not watch Candle versus Aquila. I was not very interested in it. I was more focused on like the weekend or whatever. Turn my mic up. What's going on here? My mic is low compared to I usually have videos low. And then let me turn my mic up, Oh, let me turn my desktop audio down. Hold on, okay, talk to me. How loud is this?
City defeated Mudace 2-0, good for an upset factor of 8. And since I know Isaiah personally and play against him often, allow me to say, not an upset.
That's good. All right, bet. All right, let me lock back in. Squid, what do I need help with? Life is the answer to that. Good luck. Let's lock in. I don't know if you're gonna be able to help, but you might be able to. Hey Mason, how's it going? I'm really upset. DeBuzz probably did study Candle versus Aquila, and it probably influenced his decision to go Olimar. Or are there 2 Thug Shaker mind controls? I have no idea. What is that? Mr. Rister Mice says his ESS Steve is a bad matchup for Steve. I mean, I don't personally know. I doubt it. It's probably like an even matchup or something of the sort, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not bad enough that like the Steve players will have to switch off. About alert, true. You're probably gonna end up talking once okay, so I was sitting there. Are you playing Apex? Never mind. So I was sitting there and I'll just play the video. No, because I kinda want to watch this video. I'm just gonna play like you know what? This will tie into it. Y'all like anime? Raffle is locked into cats. So it was my caps, not cats. True. That's how many emails I had. Tweet talks about Supernova. Hey, lock in. New tweet talks. What in the world? Hey, gotcha. So that's my guy, bro. That's my guy. Save opening. All right, y'all. We get to do something. They want opening from every year. Hey, lock in.
Getting a fresh deal is
So I was talking to Raffle before this started, because Raffle's like interesting to me in that bro just streams. Like he'll just load up his stream and he just streams, or like he'll like decide I want to make this video and he just does it. And I like there's a lot of people like that, and I'm just not one of those people because I'm so focused on like the outcome of it. Also, I will be answering these as we go through this, and hopefully y'all do too. And I just think a lot of times I just, if I don't feel like I have a clear goal for my stream, I just won't open it. It's open in 2. I'm not even gonna like look at the rest of them. I'm just like, you know, or B. I don't know, like I feel like what I was saying to Raffle was a lot of times I'll have like an idea and I'll like write the script for the idea, and I just won't go through with it because executing it is tough. That's like the hard part. Like coming up with the script or whatever, that's light work. But like making the video look nice and presentable, like the editing part, honestly, it's probably this Oshino Ko opening. So then it's ain't no way it's not Kickback. So then I just have this like, hold on. I do stuff like this with my friends pretty often. We'll just like sit in a Discord, and 2022 has some bangers. We'll like sit in a Discord and we'll just do this, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, it's funny. I'm still gonna say I think Kickback's like one of the best openings of all time, so I'm just gonna choose it. Like, Rumbling is really good though. I'm not sure. It'll be one of the two. I feel like I listen to Kickback more. I listen to Rumbling. Anyway, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna open my stream and just lock in. 2022 did have some really good openings. Hey, that's kind of crazy. I didn't actually. I didn't realize how good 2022 was. I go through this every now and then where like I lock in, I'm like, bro, I got all these ideas, and then like I drop one idea. It might be this Beastars opening. OP3 is pretty good too. I'm picking Black Rover, and you can't convince me anything otherwise. So that's how we ended up here. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter like what opening pops up. I'm sorry. Though these are all very good openings. 2022 is also a really good year. But okay, so I had this thought the other day because I was talking to Coney. Goat mention, Coney, goat mention. And I was like, you know, it's interesting looking back on like old clips of you, because like obviously we all grow and like evolve as a person, but what's interesting is you can still see some of the same people in his chat from, it's just Domestic Girlfriend opening. Yeah, actually this is Vinland Saga opening. Also, chat, y'all can lock in too if y'all want to pick whatever y'all want. I'm just curious, and I like seeing how people feel about music. If y'all need me to pause it, I will. But it's this Banana Fish opening, low key, high key. Maybe not. But I'll pause it for a second. While I get this thought out. But I'm definitely picking that Banana Fish opening. But dang, opening 3 and opening 10 was a 2-year gap for Black Clover. They did 7 openings in 2 years. Is that kind of crazy? There's a Girlfriend opening was he only made it halfway through episode 1. I didn't watch the anime. I didn't read it either. I didn't care for that, but it's that opening is fire. Anyway, yeah, I was talking to Coney and I was like, or not even, yeah, I was talking to him and I was like, it's interesting that people grow with you. Like you see the same people in your chat from the beginning, and like they kind of like witness your life. Like they just witness your life, like not fully, but they, and like the, you know, the whole parasocial relationship thing, it's relevant, you know, and it's important as a content creator to actually build those relationships, as weird as it sounds, because that's what keeps people coming back. And for me, I'm like a very to myself person, And I don't like, I'm an open book. Like if people like ask me stuff, I'll just start yapping about it. But I'm also like very to myself, and I don't really put myself out there. And I think there's a lot of people who have known of me for a very long time, and they could barely tell you anything about me. Like people probably have no idea how much anime and manga I consume. Like it's a very lot. Or like I love playing gacha games, or what other games I play, or like what I do in my free time and stuff like that. Like that like people will probably know that Coney was like in theater, and like just things that like he likes collecting games, and he's very opinionated. And there's just a lot of stuff that they know about him, but like I feel like if you ask people like what they know about me, like not people that know me well, like you can't ask like Raffle or somebody like that, but like people who have just simply consumed my content, what little content there is, relatively to the amount of years that I've been able to do so. They probably can't tell you anything. Like, and that's on me because I focus so much on like the outcome of what I'm doing that I can't just like be in the moment and exist. Uh which is partially why my stream title is just saying is just help. It's mostly because I'm I'm not like asking for help. It's more like me when I'm able to speak out loud. Maybe I just need a therapist. When I'm able to speak out loud and like kind of get my thoughts out, um life is much easier for me, which that probably is where this is going. There was a time where I had a therapist, um and it was great, but you know that thing where like you go to therapy, haha, I'm cured. Whoa, I don't need it anymore. And then like a month later, you're like, bro, what's going on? Life is cooking me. I'm good though. I went to therapy. Like, no, that's not how it works. So anyway, um, let's lock back in on these openings. So. What am I even streaming? Am I in the Smash section? I don't even know what it says. You can't get an appointment for like 3 months? Yeah. Dude, it's tough finding. First of all, you have to get the appointment, and then you have to see if y'all buy. How's it going? I meant to DM you on Discord and ask how it's going. Honestly, more likely than not, here, and it's very unfortunate, but I would have to choose this My Hero opening. Oh, that One Piece opening 20 is very good though. You're on Ice has one of my favorite songs ever in any anime, but the opening's like amazing. All right, we're locked in. I do have personal bias in some of these. Like, I'm obviously going to choose Haikyuu. I'll lock back into like people probably don't know. You forgot Erase existed? I mean, come on, like there ain't no way. You're beating me for more info? Wonderful. I think this Noragami open and is undefeated. And it's gonna be very hard for something to beat this. Oh man, One Punch Man is. You're in 8th grade when that. Come on. Oh, 2015 was a good year. 2015 was a really good year. Hold on, let me lock back in. Hold on. But stuff like this, like when it's like a really good year, you really gotta listen twice. So. 2016, you were in 8th freshman year. Bro, I was 24. What? What? That's crazy. I'll probably still pick the Noragami opening, but I feel like if anyone picked anything else, I wouldn't even be upset. Like, it's so corny because like every like year there's like a generational opening. Like how can you like not pick the Tokyo Ghoul opening here? Like, I mean, sure, somebody might pick Silhouette, or like, so sure, somebody might pick Your Lie in April. Like, I mean, like, and some people's favorite anime is No Game No Life, so I mean, it's whatever. But like, how can you not pick this? Like, I mean, it's just, and pick Your Lie in April. I mean, hey, it's all good. Like, D for this round is like, it is. Ooh. I would do stuff like this all the time, though. So this thing up. Hey, I'm locked in. Nope. Can't convince me. Can't convince me otherwise. Even though I really like this opening. Ooh. Your Lie in April is your favorite anime all time? Oh, that's nice. That's interesting. See, like, stuff like this allows me to learn things about people, and it allows people to learn things about me. And I don't know. I'm about to start doing what people used to do and just hide my number, hide my viewer count. I did that at one point. I don't know, it's tough though, because I think it's kind of counterproductive for like growth purposes, but I don't know. I think it's easy to that's also a generational opening. This anime came out in 2012. I remember reading it. I didn't actually realize that. Oh, Nick, I actually forgot about this. It's actually really funny. I'm putting this light on. It's about to get bright. Oh. I mean, it doesn't really change anything. I'm probably choosing... A. They're 2014 ping pongs. They usually do different, because there's like a lot of these channels, and they usually do like, I'm choosing Guilty Crown because of a guilty pleasure. I actually have her figure right here. Ah. I feel like every few years I like lock in back on and like watching anime. Oh my gosh, not. Oh, 2010 was a good year. You know what's interesting? I think I saw another video, because I watch a lot of these. Another video where they had other stuff from 2010, and I was like, I thought they had everything, but apparently they didn't. I really like that Bleach opening. You've only watched... I can't believe... I remember you telling me that because you were talking to that girl. And, she brought up that anime, or you brought up that anime? Oh, alright, never mind, we're good. I mean, this is like one of the best openings of all time. Stuff like this is so wait. Ooh, Progressive
makes it easy to save with a quick commercial auto quote online.
This is a girl you skip hanging
So
out
you
with
can
because
get
riddles and
back
comic
to your
talk. That
mom.
is really funny. Ooh, Paper Moon. You know, I was talking to the other day who I never. Oh man, Bluebird's there. You know, honestly. I think if I had to save one opening, like it could never, like the rest of these just got clapped, I would save Bluebird, but I like Paper Moon more. But that Bluebird opening is very important. Golly, that's a good opening. Oh, but anyway, I was talking to someone who somehow I've never spoken to before. And it was Season. And like for some reason never clicked in my head like waifu Season, like the dude likes anime. Like it just I'll probably save the Gurren Lagann opening. Did they skip? Was that 2007? Oh, they skipped it. Yeah, I never. That was the first time I've ever like had a conversation with Season. I mean, you gotta think about it. Like Nick, you've seen me at events like locals. I really don't talk to that many people. It's a lot of the same people. I mean, come on, man. Like, how are we not gonna choose colors? Some of the stuff is gonna be rough for other people because, like, I don't know. Was Nick even born here? Like, thoughts on I was a big fan of women. Did they say anything? That's the thing. Like, I won't know, but I do know some people find it like difficult to approach someone, and that's fine. Y'all hear Lil Man crying? You were 2002? Oh, okay. We're approaching your year. Oh, hey, never mind. It's probably Naruto OP too, but I do really like the Wolf Strain opening. Nick's born. Like, this could be like a segment on my streams or something like that. You know? Because I like doing stuff like this. Because I'm just curious on people. Also, yeah, like, all of these are brutal. Bro, I don't care about this year, I'm gonna be honest. I was talking to Distinct Madness at I don't know if it was on Discord or in person, but he was saying how, like, I actually really like the Prince of Tennis opening, so it's probably it's probably the Ippo opening. He was saying how, like, he also found it difficult to, like, originally talk to me, but then he's like, oh, it's probably GTO. Dude, Inuyasha openings, like, it's weird. Inuyasha is like the woat of openings, but the goat of endings. Like, the Inuyasha endings are actually kind of crazy. All right, my bad. I just had to get this out of the way while I was yapping. It gives me, like, background. It gave me background music. What actually happened this weekend, though? We're not live for the first. You were born 5 days after. That's crazy.
With Straw Hat Kid defeating Shu for an upset factor 4, and JDV defeating Aaron for an upset factor 1. With 3 Pac-Men making big upsets, it seems as though this power crep top tier is making a resurgence. Fan favorite K-Rule main Brujo sadly got double upset, losing against Anthony Isn't Cool in an upset factor 1, and then losing to Dusk in an upset factor 3, to place 257th as the 116th seed. French Steve main Susu also got double upset, first losing against Lucas main Smash Bros in an upset factor 2, and then losing against Lightning Cam for an upset factor 4, to be eliminated
Is Lightning Cam Diddy Kong?
Place as the 77th seed. Karama, a familiar name to many of you, was coming into Supernova as the 40th seed,
Interesting,
but ended up getting double upset, losing 2-1 to Guy Guy's Luigi for an upset factor 2.
I think that matchup's hard for Mario.
2-1 to Paris's Game & Watch.
That's Game & Watch, right? That's
3,
also.
with Karama being eliminated.
I can't see you. I think if I, like, took a second.
Another fan favorite, Karama being eliminated at 120 Game & Watch for as Luigi.
Next to the guy in the orange.
Seed.
Huh?
But ended up getting double upset, losing 2-1 to Guy Guy's Luigi for an upset factor 2, and then losing 2-1 to Paris's Game & Watch for an upset factor 3.
Wow, the Mario, I can't.
Being eliminated.
No, I can't see.
129th.
Oh, now I can see. Were you Blue Hat?
Favorite and 37th seed Chunky Kong lost to Hero and Mega Man co-main Voltage Striker.
No, I give up.
Good for an upset factor 6. Base Mage, the 43rd seed, lost 2-1 to a Steve main named
This is a pretty
Skibidi Blockenheimer for an upset factor 6. I wish I was kidding. In a bit of low-tier friendly fire, 72nd seed Armadillo lost to Dr. Mario main Bacon 2-1 for an upset factor 4. Seed number 76, Roy main Mugen got upset by Villager main
I knew that was
Sense
going to come up.
Good for an upset factor 4. French Pikachu
I can't believe all of that
was
on Twitter.
Seed Neros, who had gotten
Twitter.com or
upset earlier in
X.com.
round 1 pools, got upset again in round 2 pools, this time by Younglink main Zexy. Good for an upset factor 5. Lima, the 28th seed of the event, got upset by Ness main PK Chris.
Lima's really good against Ness
victory,
too.
Good for an upset factor
Maybe they had a
and
tough
lastly,
weekend.
Phase 2 pools
Still going
actually
on.
saw two more players DQ from
I'm
the
way
bracket.
too old for it.
The first of which being Krieg, the Marthmain, and the
I
second of
like-
which being Dark Wizzy, who you may remember was up the Marthmain, and the second of
Does Krieg also play Guilty Gear Strive? I feel like I keep seeing, or is that a different Krieg? I feel like I keep seeing Krieg's name in results threads, like top 8 images. Like I think they're very good at Guilty Gear.
DQ from the bracket. The first of which being Krieg, the Marthmain, and the
Yeah, I read like, I don't know, like 3 pages of each of their things, and I just couldn't. Nah.
The second of which being Dark Wizzy,
Nah.
who you may remember was upset in Phase 1 pools.
I don't think
As far
like
as
for either of
Luminosity's
them,
top
like
players go, all of them made it through Phase
them
2
putting
pools
themselves on
fairly
the
well.
internet
MK
is
Leo made it through flawlessly by
is
defeating
good.
Spider and Marvale. Tweak also made it through with no games dropped with wins over Sora J and Luxa. Sonics also dominated Phase 2, defeating Kawaii Pickle and Smirk to make it into top 128. And lastly, Mars defeated Sam and TM7 Zap in a close Game 3 set. In order to enter Phase 3 pools through winners
Go
Sati
back
and
to
Pickle
before the
J beating
Lexus
some made it
thing.
through Phase 1.
I don't even remember which.
Onyx also order to
Where is
enter
that?
Phase No made it dropped with
here?
wins over Slee by defeating Spider and Marvale.
Here?
Tweak also made it. MK Leo made it through flawlessly by defeating Spider and Marvale. Tweak also made it through with no games dropped with wins over Sora J and Luxa. Sonics also dominated Phase 2.
I mean, we're not
defeating
gonna get.
Kawaii Pickle and Smirk to make it into
We're
top
not gonna get
128.
every name
And
correct.
lastly, Mars defeated
It's all
Sam
good.
and TM7 Zap in a close Game 3 set. In order to enter Phase 3 pools through winner's side. That wraps it up for Phase 2 pools. I'm sorry that these upsets didn't have very many
You know,
busts.
something like this like is so interesting to me because all this really is just bro's watching who? Wait, what? Wait, what? All this really is putting the bracket in a video form. Like there's not like, I don't know, maybe as
We
I get
now
deeper
move into
in, like
Phase 3,
there'll
top
be
128. And the rest of the
something
tournament from
along to
here
go with
on
it,
would be
but
best
this was
of
really
5.
funny.
Which top players will make it into top 24 and who would fall early? Let's find out. First things first, a bit of controversy as Ouch got
Oh,
DQ'd from the
man.
bracket by TOs for apparently playing under someone else's tag in Smash 4 doubles. And regardless of how you may feel about that decision, ultimately, Ouch was forcibly DQ'd from Ultimate Singles. The first upsets of Phase 3 pools
Oh, okay.
include
I mean-
Lammers 44, the Mii Brawler, defeating Aaron 3-0 for an upset factor 3 win.
Bro, if I had to
that
play
eliminated
Lammers, I would
Aaron
get
in
rolled. I'm
97th
not gonna
place
hold
as
you.
the 60th seed. This was followed by Chase, the Palutena, defeating Riddles, the 20th seed, 3-1.
I think Chase
for an
beat Riddles
upset
the
factor
last time
2.
they maybe
Next
not the
up is
last time,
Voltage
but I
Striker,
remember
who we
Chase
mentioned
beating him
earlier
at
for upsetting
Genesis.
Chunky Kong, who now also upset Yoda Cage, the 117th seed, 3-1
Not
for an
Voltage
upset factor
Striker.
3. The first major upset of Phase 3 pools was Cody, a hidden boss Peach player who defeated Neo in a close Game 5 set.
Almost
Good for an upset
$5 on
factor
this
of
this
5.
Neo
Next
Cody
up is
set
Brawler
or
main
Neo
Apple Review, who
Jazzo
defeated
set.
the 55th seed Goblin 3-0 for an upset factor 2. Slight note here, Goblin had accused the seeders of Supernova of rigging the bracket against him by putting him in the
Bro,
way of
I-
Crepe Soleil and Wilds.
Bro, he was. I couldn't. That was like an interesting tweet because he was seeded to lose. It's not. It's not- who do I think is the best MDVA player currently? At what? Like if it's a local, probably Dex. But if it's like a regional major thing, probably enhanced.
But Goblin didn't end up making it to either of those players, instead being eliminated at 65th. Next up, we have a massive upset from one of Luminosity's own, as Mars, the 33rd seed, defeated the first seed of the entire
This wasn't,
tournament,
like-
Mia 3-0.
And this is why I need to like make stuff. This was like the most obvious, like Mars is probably gonna win thing of the tournament. Like I think if you looked at the bracket and saw Mars had to play Siski and then saw Mars had to play Mia, I feel like anyone who's been around for long enough knows that it is very, very high chance for Mars to beat both of them. Now I know much is better. I don't.
For an upset factor 10, the largest upset of the entire tournament. Mia even tried to go Steve in Game 3, but funnily enough, ZSS is the only character who hard beats both Steve and Game & Watch.
Why do people keep saying that? Why do people keep saying that? Sonic does better than both of them. Why do we keep doing this? I don't get it. I keep seeing this like, yeah, Zero Suit beats both of them, and I'm just like,
the entire tournament. Mia even tried
Sonic
to go
does better
Steve
than
in Game
her
3,
against
but
both.
funnily enough, ZSS is the only character who hard beats both Steve and Game & Watch. Next up is Riddles, who had been sent to losers by Chase's Palu, and now in losers, got upset by Icy Mist Samus.
I didn't know
An
that.
upset factor 3 win that eliminated Riddles at 49th as the 20th seed. If you remember from earlier, Mudace had been sent to losers.
So Icy beat Spargo last year, and Icy beat Spargo last year, and Riddles this year. It's pretty good.
KC's very own Isaiah. Now here, Mudace ended up losing a close Game 5 set to Monty, an upset factor 3 that eliminated
That's
Mudace
unfortunate
at
for
65th
Mute.
as the 15th seed. Our next
Wait,
two
Icy didn't beat
upsets-
Spargo last year? Oh, sorry. Icy beat Sonics last year. I apologize. Yeah. Sonics, my bad. Y'all are right.
were
That's on
against
me.
the two best North
This made
American
zero
Sonic
sense to
players.
me.
First, Wrath. The 27th seed got upset by Juan P's Banjo, an upset
Bro, I was not locked in phase 3. I only cared about like 5 players at this point. I did not know that. Oh, huh?
factor 4 win that eliminated Wrath at 33rd. But the next upset
See, what is good about this video is, at least with tournaments of this size, like people aren't gonna pay attention to every single thing that happened. Majority of people, so it is good that, if people wanted to know, they could just watch this.
set was even crazier.
Because I didn't know what to expect,
Sonics,
like going
the
into
third
this.
seed of the tournament, lost to Snow's Mario 3-1, with Snow timing
This
him
still made no
out.
sense.
This clocked in at an upset factor 5 and cast Sonics down into losers. The next upset was a Nest Ditto between Atada and Gact, and it was Atada who prevailed over his Japanese counterpart, winning in a Game 5 set that clocked in at upset factor 4. The first of our top 10 seeds was eliminated from
Bro.
the bracket, as Peebnut defeated the 10th seed
Put some respect
Tamapi
on Crate.
Daifuku 3-1, eliminating Tamapi at 25th place with an upset factor 3. Hey, remember how Mia had gotten upset earlier on in bracket? Well, his rival Akola didn't actually fare much better, as the second seed lost a
Bro,
close
Akola
Game
had a
5 set
tough
to
weekend.
Yoshidora, an upset factor 7 win that forced Akola down into the losers bracket. You heard that right. Sonics, Mia, and Akola,
Check Twitter.
all in losers bracket. And that wraps up phase 3 pools, aka top 128. So where exactly does that leave us? Even though plenty of the top 10 seeds were upset,
Oh,
none
yeah,
of
y'all
them
were
were
actually
out
over
yet,
it.
save for Tamapi Daifuku. In terms of Luminosity players, we've
Two
gone over
Amigs.
parts
I
of
didn't
their
go this
runs
year.
already. Mars went on a
Wait,
massive
I
upset
missed stuff.
streak,
I missed stuff.
defeating
My bad.
six
My
over
bad, y'all.
parts of it. Even though plenty of the top 10 seeds were upset, none
Nice.
of them were out
I shouldn't-
yet,
yeah,
save
I
for
shouldn't take
Tamapi
a stock.
Daifuku. In terms of
The
Luminosity
position's really
players,
tough, though.
we've gone over parts of their runs already. Mars went on a mass.
What's
Luminosity
Siski say?
players, we've gone over parts of their runs already. Mars
What's Siski say? Bro was yapping. Wrath had a good bracket too. If you're there for enhancements, moving, I did, bro.
went on a massive upset streak, defeating Siski.
Yeah, because I was
3-1,
there, I think, the
Mia
entire weekend.
3-0, and then defeating Onin in a close game 5 set.
Okay, is it
3-1,
Onin or Onin?
Mia
Because I've
3-0,
recently
and
I've been
then
hearing
defeating
Onin.
in a close game 5 set to make top 24 from Win 3-0, and then defeating Onin in a close game 5
On
sets to
in.
make top 24
Oh,
from
okay.
winner's side. Sonics defeated
You're not saying
Vivid
that- oh, my
3-1
bad.
and Jazzo 3-0 before losing to Snow 3-1 like we mentioned earlier to enter top
That
24
was-
from loser's side. Tweak defeated
Oh, they're
JDB
just doing an
3-1,
LG
PK
recap.
Chris 3-0,
Dude, this
and lastly,
Ashimo
Reverse
tweak
3-0'd
set was
Ashimo,
so
who
funny.
had just beaten MKLeo to enter top 24 from winner's side. And as you just heard, after defeating Ling 3-0, MKLeo lost
Look.
to Ashimo, dropping into loser's
No.
bracket. From here,
Mm.
Leo defeated Icy Mist 3-0 before reverse 3-0ing
I think
Lugi.
if
But
there
simply saying
were
that Leo reverse 3-0'd Lugi isn't doing the set
an
justice. You see, the first two
idea
games of
that
the set were
Raru
not
isn't the
close
best
at all.
Luigi,
We're talking near 3
I think
stocks, with
if
Luigi taunting all
that didn't
over
pass the
place.
eye test
Many
this
people
weekend,
were expecting to go
I don't know what to
Aegis
tell you.
or Byleth, and some
I
were
just
already
don't know
whipping up the
what to
memes
tell you.
about your mom calling about the dishes. But instead,
Wait, hold
Elm
on,
went
let
for
me-
the place. Many people were expecting to go stocks.
Are
with
we-
Luigi taunting
look at
all
this.
over the place. Many people were expecting
just
to
did
go
grab-
Aegis or Byleth, and
just
some
grab-
were already
just-
whipping out the memes.
Bro, I
about
was
your mom
watching
calling
and
about
I
the
couldn't
dishes.
believe
But
how much
instead, MK Leo stayed
bro grabbed.
Joker, and for a moment,
I
we got a
couldn't believe it.
glimpse of the true game for
I-
Leo.
mm,
Flashy combos,
I was
big
shocked.
moments,
You're probably gonna
insane
see,
clips.
like,
We were
80
back
grabs
in 2019
during this.
And MK Leo reverse
I
3-0'd
just-
Luigi in
oh,
spectacular
no, wait, never mind, this is toward
taunt
the
to
end of
get
the set.
bodied fashion to enter top 24
The smug of
from
Luigi,
loser's side,
ay.
outplacing his 25th seed in the
I'm
process.
so glad you said
and
that.
that's where Saturday ended at Supernova. Headed into Sunday, top 24 looked like this. In winner's side, we had Mars.
You see that
Headed
smug
into
look on
Sunday,
Leo's
top
face?
24 looked like this.
That's really funny.
In winner's side, we had Mars, Spargo, Hurt, Tweak, Yoshidora.
Okay, when I looked at this bracket, I thought, okay, so I think if Mars, and this is something that I wanted to talk to Rafa about this, but I'm not like a part of the staff or whatever, and I don't plan to enter any of these Smash Cons, so it doesn't really affect me, and I'm just curious about it. But I think if Mars played Spargo on Saturday, then Mars would have won. I also think if Light played Sonics on Saturday, Light would have won. Is there an idea of changing it from being top 24 Sunday to like a 96 or a 64 or something like that? Because I know you were talking about spreading out the events and restructuring how things are going to be done. Maybe not enough time, no. I was curious if like moving some stuff to Thursday would be different. It's just interesting because starting Sunday, I mean, this is obviously like the player's choice, whatever. But starting Sunday, with like matches like this is really, really difficult. And it's different. What is this? It's different for the doubles Thursday would change how Friday, Saturday work. I think if you're already in top 8 and you lock in and you lose your 2 sets or whatever, it's fine. But when you're like one before top 8 and you have to try to lock in with like, and you're playing like Fox or something, you're not like warmed up or like Zero Suit, you're not like in it yet, it could be tough. Where like no flame, but if you're playing like Steve, like a Cloud or like Corrin, like characters that the precision of execution is like a little less necessary for, it can be a lot easier to to succeed when you're not super locked in.
Shadow,
Anyway.
Raru, and Snow. And in loser's side, we had Shuton, Mi, Ashimo, Geist, Zamba, Peebnut,
Actually,
Ken.
when I looked at this, I knew Mio was gonna win. I thought this might be the first time Sonics didn't get second. Like when I was looking beforehand, I was like, this is tough for Sonics. Like, and then I didn't know what to expect with the Buzz and Crepe, especially because Crepe, they didn't show it, but Crepe had a crazy set with Shattuck in that. I'll actually pull it up. Bro, honestly, like there was like a lot of weird stuff here. So the first thing was, from what I had known of Crepe, they really played Steve and Wario. Like they mostly played Wario, and then they picked up Steve, and then
ready to go, dialed in with the headsets. I've noticed that a lot this weekend. People
This
really
joint
want to
started.
make sure they have the audio just right. And now it's going to be Corrin
And bro was
versus Rob. How
Rob.
do you feel about this matchup?
I feel Rob actually, so that is an interesting pick. So we're not actually going to see the Steve, which is Genslay's typically,
Huh?
I don't want to say his original main, but it's a character that he's become known for. Certainly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
What's going on there? I didn't know bro play Rob. And like, you know, Shattuck's been doing really well against Rob. Yeah, I mean Corrin does well against both the characters. Shattuck's also been doing well against all the Robs. So I was like, hey, like, I mean, this isn't gonna turn out well. And then we got to this point in the game, and I was like, bro, it is game 5. What's going on? And then this happened. And I was like, bro, about to win.
oh, goes for the win.
Bro, about to win.
No way.
What are we? Is that 2? I think we're 2 frames off of winning. Is this the first active or this the first active? We're like 2 or 3 frames off of winning. And I was like, wait, what? How good is this
Air dodge
kid?
from
Bro just
Shattuck.
be picking
The
characters.
patience, the
And then I was like, all right,
wherewithal
Shattuck
to
wins
not
for
give
sure
in the
because
one option that would have closed.
like the opportunity was just, hey. There are moments in tournament sets where you find like your opening, like your big opening, and like this is your chance. They don't happen too often, so when they do happen, it's very, very obvious that it's happening. And a lot of times you need to be like able to keep yourself under control and like play out the situation as best as possible. And once that opportunity passes, like when you're making a comeback like this, very seldom are you able to win the game, right? If at this level, because other players just gonna lock back in and be like, whoa, that was close, like let me calm down and get the win. I was sure that, especially with the amount of recent success and experience and exposure Shattuck has had to these situations, the bro is just gonna lock in and get a dub. But then I noticed that Shattuck was not grabbing the shield. Like, the shield was just coming up over and over again, and the shield was not getting grabbed.
133 on this big metal beast.
My brain was like, please grab this shield. And I saw opportunity again. I was like, oh no, it keeps happening. Like the opportunities are happening more and more. Like please grab, like please. I was in the crowd. I was like, just grab the shield. But then he went for that forward smash, and I mean, I don't. I guess he thought like the that will push him into the gyro or something like that. I'm not really sure, but. Or maybe he wanted to F tilt and push him into. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So that kid's pretty good. He's pretty good. I'll give it up.
MK Leo, Ashimo.
People were flaming him because
Geist,
he's number 1 in
Zamba,
EU, but
Peebnut,
like
Ken, Atada, Onin,
it should be
Polo.
Gluto.
The players coming in from winner's side
guess.
only needed to win 1 set.
Dude,
to
I
make
did
it
not
into top
watch
8,
this.
while those coming from loser's side
I did not
needed 3. And with
even
one of
know
the
this was
craziest days in Smash
remotely
Ultimate
close.
history behind us, we all went to bed, eagerly awaiting tomorrow, Championship Sunday. which would bring us from top 24.
I was talking
all the way
to someone
the
about
end of
this the other
tournament.
day.
And the winner,
I was like,
Super
Hero would be
2024.
Hero
As
would
Sunday's top
be
24 started off, the first
character
three
I would
sets
not
take
want to
place
play.
were Mia versus Shuton,
Like, if I'm in that
Soleil versus
situation,
Dabuz,
nah.
and MKLeo versus Akola, the greatest player of today versus the greatest player of all time. As this set got underway, Akola was the clear favorite to win, being the second seed of the tournament. And while Akola
I like and dislike how objective the video is. Where like they use a language like his objective favorite because of the seeding, like bro's second seed or whatever. But I also dislike it because it doesn't like tell the full story of how Leo is notably he like notably struggles very much with Steve, and he's pretty much lost to every Steve that he's played that's like a top Steve in recent memory. He has like a very negative set count versus a lot of the Steve players, and he swaps a lot of characters, and he's not really sure who he wants to play in the matchup. That doesn't come across. You could probably have to do a little bit more probably have to do a little more like research and digging to figure that out yourself, you know, because I feel like the video isn't for the people who either like sat there and watched the entire event or the people who are like super Smash nerds and they just pay attention to like everything or try their best to. It's for like people who saw like maybe the top 8 of the tournament only, and they're like, bro, how did they get to this point or something like that, you know what I mean?
take game 1, it was a very close game, giving all the Leo fans hope. But in the next 2 games, we saw MKLeo pop off and go up 2-1 over the world's best. But in the crucial game 4, Akola was able to make a slight comeback to bring us to a game 5.
Good old
and
mask
here we
off.
Are. Game 4 Leo versus
Back
game
here.
5
I'm surprised you went for
Akola.
that second back
Two
here.
legends of the game facing off against one another in a game 5. And ultimately, Akola clutched out that last game 5, defeating the GOAT 3-2 and moving on in bracket. It was very good to see that Leo can still keep up, but sadly, not being able to close out the set would end up eliminating MKLeo at 17th place, the first Luminosity member to fall out of bracket. At the same time, our second top 10 seed got eliminated from the tournament, with
I just
Mia
realized-
defeating Shuton in a tragically early meeting 3-0, eliminating the number 6 seed before
Meister
top 8.
wasn't here.
Additionally, Dabuz managed to defeat Crepe Soleil 3-0, eliminating the last remaining European from bracket after a big run. This was technically an upset, though only a minor one with an upset factor 1. Still, it was the first upset of top 24. Sonics ended up defeating Light 3-0, dominating the player who used to be his biggest demon, with Light being double eliminated by Sonic players after losing to Ken and Sonics respectively. The third top 10 seed being eliminated from the tournament. Ashimo won a close game 5 set against Geist, barely preventing a reverse
Bro,
3-0
that
in
air
a tense
dodge,
last hit
it's not
scenario,
shown
and
here,
eliminating one of
but that air dodge was tragic. Like, tragic.
What? You're joking. This is a joke.
You want jokes? Wait, new car? You need...
Gonna be,
Let's go, Blue. How you been? How's life been treating you?
Supernova brings to you. Did early and rinse and repeat. Guys doing it yet again. Osmo needs to stop the bleeding, needs to do it soon. Guys having a field day at the moment.
The board. Now that
It already happened. It did already happen.
Focus to end it early. Everything it's in.
you called it earlier, Logic.
Oh, another win shot
Wait,
to the back air.
did it already happen or did it not already happen? I can't remember. No.
Indeed, here. This is why he's getting that opening.
Now that 88
potentially the conversion.
Oh yeah, it
He's
was
gotta
closer
get
to the
one of
end.
them. You just got to get it near that ledge. Is this what he needed? Is this enough? Not quite. Asimo's manages to hit the ground.
I think Asimo's going to be living another 10-15% until the alpha tilt back air starts to kill near the ledge. And a full
I couldn't believe this.
by Geist, knowing that if he went for the crouching short, what are we doing down here?
We are looking for a strike.
No,
We're looking for a
no,
strike.
I
Not
knew
gonna
the
find it. Oh, a little
moment.
bit of a mistake, but not the second time.
I
Asimo
knew
takes it over.
the moment that air dodge happened, that the game was over.
And a full grab by Geist, knowing
Oh,
that if he went for the crouching short, what are we doing down here?
We are looking for a spike. We're looking for a stage spike. Not able to find it. Oh, a little bit of a mistake, but not the second time as Asimo takes it over Geist in the nail biter.
Oh my god.
that was tough. Get your money on Ashima. I thought Geist was gonna win. That's a pretty tough matchup for Ryu.
Supernova's big breakout stars. Speaking of breakout stars, the other one, Atada, lost a 3-1 set to
Ken had a
to be
silent
eliminated at
good
17th.
tournament.
Atada and Geist are definitely the two biggest upset runs of the tournament, and alongside Mars were the only players to make top 24 without being ranked in the top 50. But sadly for Atada and Geist, their runs both ended at 17th. Onin defeated Cola 3-0,
This
with
set
Cola
was
relapsing
tragic.
back to Cloud for one game, but to no avail. And lastly,
Relapsing
for
back
losers
to
round
Cloud.
1 of top 24, Zamba defeated Peebnut.
Good job
3-0,
on Zamba. I know
overcoming the
Peeb's
poor
been giving
matchup
him
to move on in bracket and
giving him
eliminate
trouble.
Peebnut at 17th place. This means that our round 2 of top 24 consisted of Mia versus Sonics, Dabuz versus Akola, Ashimo versus Zamba, and Ken versus Onin. These sets are incredibly stacked, with Dabuz versus Akola being grand finals of last year's Super Smash Con,
There you
and
go.
Mia
That's some
versus Sonics
context.
especially being grand finals at nearly any other major. The first and third seeds, 2 of the 4 horsemen, and the grand finalists of last year's tournament were playing for 12th
Do people still
place.
call like
Whoever
Spargo
wins
and
these sets would fight the losers of winners quarters for a chance to
those
make
four
top
the four
8.
horsemen?
The first set in losers round 2
I haven't
to
called them the
finish
Four
up was
Horsemen
Zamba
since-
versus Ashimo,
I-
with Ashimo being the one to take the set
Dude,
in 3-1 to
I
finish
was
up for a
actually
chance
shocked
to make top 8.
that Zamba lost this
The
set.
first set in losers round 2 to finish up was
Ashimo
Zamba
had a
versus
really
Ashimo,
good weekend.
with Ashimo being the one to take the set in 3-1 fashion, advancing into the losers side top 8 qualifier. and
Actually, no, it
eliminating
wasn't, because they played earlier this year at was that a Kowloon? Was that a Delta? What was that? I think it was a Delta. Zamba Ashimo. Umebora.
This is the
Early, like in January of this year. Wait, no, Zamba did win. I thought so. I wasn't sure at first, because I was like, I'm pretty sure they played it before. Ashimo is locked in this event.
Zamba at 12th place. Next up was Luminosity's own Sonics against
I
Mia.
heard
The first
I heard about this. I didn't watch it because I was watching, I think, Cola versus Mars at the time. And someone comes over and they said, I heard Mia just started going for 9s. But he kept landing them. Like he kept landing hammers. Somebody was like, honestly, if you're getting hit raw by that move as Sonic that many times, you deserve to lose.
first and
So now I
third
wanna
seeds
see.
of the event fighting
You
early.
got hit once.
This set went to a close game 5, and Mia almost landed a clutch 9 to win. But in the end,
Ew.
Sonics timed out Mia, eliminating the first seed at 12th place, an upset factor 2, and moving into the losers top 8 qualifier. Onin, hot off of making Cola potentially retire, defeated Ken in a 3-0 set victory,
Why did they have to
advancing
say
into
that?
the losers side top 8 qualifier and eliminating Ken at 12th place. And lastly, in a close game 5 set, Akola defeated Dabuz's Olimar 3-2, barely avoiding the crazy upset in game 4 to eventually eliminate Dabuz at 12th place and move into the losers side qualifier. To
Like we should we could add like a little bit of flair to it, like, because at this point, for anyone that was like watching, at this point, Akola was in yet another situation where he was down 2-1, and had to make a comeback, especially on a game like this. Like, you see how far ahead he is. That's an entire stop.
The up smash. This could be Akola's final stop of Supernova 2024. He traps up onto the diamonds quickly. He's got no iron until he mines up a little bit more. Dabuz, with the double up smash, he's going to do so much here with Akola on ledge.
The fact he only got 32 is crazy. That lineup is absolutely insane, too. 2 purples and the yellow. Those smash attacks are deadly. And what a parry from Akula, but you got to watch the shield.
I'm actually curious because I didn't watch it.
The purple down smash would break the shield, too. Dabuz is looking for something big here.
Got Akola trapped in the corner. The extra hitbox extension not going to hurt him this time around, but it is something to be very cautious of. Dabuz now
I feel like from
down
this
the wall,
point,
but has to still be careful of those mine
you
carts.
just want to get like
so badly in the first couple games, but he's caught onto them, and Akola
roughly
has yet to
18
mix up,
more
and that
damage
makes me
on
scared
Akola.
that the mix-up is coming.
The mix-up is huge.
We lost this game.
Where we're going to see the number 2 eliminated, and then the number 1. It's just a matter of getting one more shot gather for Aqua. See the number 2 eliminated, and then the number 1. It's just a matter of getting one more shot gather for Aqua alive. H-Box runs back down off the stage. This is it, the Steve problem, the last stock, low on resources, quick to get a bunch of wood, but not a lot of iron. The diamond tools also only a slight backup here. This is so dangerous. What a grab though, big combo. Also only a slight backup here.
No Steve main is allowed to complain about his grab.
This is
No Steve player is allowed to complain about his grab.
This is so dangerous. What a grab though, big
combo.
Huge.
Dabuz going to be able to get back safely and even gets the white Pikmin onto Akola for a little bit of extra damage. That purple Pikmin is quickly murked, though, and he's going to have to pluck another one. This one going to take some time to bloom, though, for that extra damage that Dabuz might need.
What is going through the mind of Aqua in this position? 122. That purple whips the first time. We get the up air into the back air now on the platform.
Honestly, I still wouldn't expect Dabuz to lose this situation.
Splash water is just not big enough. Blue is in the lineup too right now, and that's a
I would
big
expect
percent
Dabuz
to
to
get a
lose
grab,
this
but these
situation.
diamond smash attacks are also very, very close to taking the stock from Dabuz. How do you get around that one block? Purple Pikmin. Oh, there's so
If he got another blue, I wouldn't expect him to lose.
Yep, we're going into a game 5. The purple.
What?
The stock from Dabuz. How do you get around that one block? Purple Pikmin. Oh, there's so much Pikmin on him.
Did he just try to roll? What did he just try to do? What is that?
No,
The start of a smash attack? What?
The scary thing.
I don't know. Interesting.
To see who Sonics, Akola, Ashimo, and Onin were fighting in those qualifiers, let's look at winners quarterfinals. First off, Spargo defeated Mars 3-0, moving into winners semis and casting Mars down into losers
Mars was
versus
playing like a
Akola.
bot
Next,
on
Hurt
Sunday.
defeated Tweak 3-1. Moving into top 8 versus Spargo,
Like his version of a
Tweak
bot.
dropping into losers to face off against Sonics. Shattuck defeated Yoshidora 3-1, moving into winners semis and sending Yoshidora into losers to face off against Onin. And lastly, Raru
That
defeated
matchup
Snow
sucks.
3-1, advancing into top 8 versus Shattuck and sending Snow down into losers to fight Ashimo. Now, with that in mind, let's take a look at the loser side top 8 qualifiers, the final rounds of top 24. First of all, Ashimo defeated Snow 3-1, moving into loser side top 8 and eliminating Snow at 9th place. Next, Yoshidora defeated Onin 3-1, eliminating Onin at 9th.
You know,
with
I didn't know
Yoshidora
that.
Moving into loser side top 8 with
Does it
wins
mean-
over the 2 best Steves in the
Is that
world.
9th twice
For
in a
our
row
next set,
at
sadly,
Smash Cons?
we have to say goodbye to Mars. He almost reversed 3-0 to Akola, but sadly, Game 5 Akola is just too real, and Mars was eliminated.
Funny story about this set. So let me pull up Akola Mars.
You're baiting out
So
your
game
air
one.
dodge, short hop nair 2, you name it, we're gonna see it. Audience, let's make some.
Game 1, they're playing, you know. He only 33 last year.
Stage, there's so much pressure. The whole world is watching.
So game 1, right? The set starts, they're playing it out. And we're in the crowd. It's me, Light, has Mars's girlfriend. Not this star. Mars's girlfriend. EE. We're just sitting there chilling, watching, right? And Mars grabs a ledge, and he says, Light says, down air, just down air. Has says, SD you, Jim.
I mean, he's got a lot less years.
And I just look at both of them, and I say, y'all aren't real. Like, y'all aren't homies. Like, I would be so mad. So then, after the set, first thing Mars says, he walks off stage. He's like, I'm so mad about that SD. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And Light and Haz are just like both looking at each other like, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just not going to say anything. It's fine. They eventually told him, but I just couldn't believe they just both said down there and to SD, and then it just happened. Like, they put that into the universe. Because honestly, that situation was not good for Aquila. He was definitely going to get back aired and probably end up having to use, he's going to get back aired and probably end up having to use a minecart.
You got to actually get up there and do the damn thing on stage. There's so much pressure. The whole world is watching. And Aquila, I mean, he's got a lot.
Like, this is a guaranteed back air.
Yeah,
we have to play out the situation, but there's a very high chance that after the back air, like, hold on.
So much pressure. The whole world is watching. And Aquila, I mean, he's got a lot.
Like, okay, so this back air lands, right? It'll probably be here. And you know, see I think y'all can see my mouse. The back air will probably put him roughly here. You probably have to upbeat a ledge. Zero Suit will probably have to upbeat a ledge during the hit stun of the back air. More likely than not, that means that when the minecart or up B starts, Zero Suit will be on ledge with invincibility, and you just kind of have to see, like, you kind of just have to, like, see where the Steve goes. If you can get another, like, rising back air that puts you on stage, you probably can take Steve's stock as Zero Suit. Because you'll either rinse or repeat, or eventually you'll get to a point where they do a minecart that you can flip kick or a cover you can flip kick. So this actually could have been like a pretty good start for Mars, and Mars loves momentum, so if he got like good momentum, he could have locked in. You need me to start watching here? I'll watch a little bit of it. I'll probably watch an entire thing later. I didn't even know who's here. Wait, did Squid finally beat Glory? I think about going to Xanadu to commentate. But I wouldn't get paid for it, so I don't want to go. Alright. It's kind of simple.
This is looking like a really close.
If I got paid for it, I'll go.
Warriors gonna take it. Squid Plumber is in the
Ignore the
lead.
bad quality right now. Keep watching. I'm watching.
If he can close this out and go to winners.
I mean, I'm gonna half watch.
One.
Okay, this is looking good.
Yeah,
Looking great.
This is going. This recovery sucks. You ever seen Smub Squid Plumber? Remember that set?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Recovery.
I missed it.
All right, another vacuum. Bounces off. All right, that's it. All right, Glory.
Like the
has a
down
chance
that?
to
Are we looking at the
hear
down
me
air?
out. Hear me out.
Did Squid miss a way to win?
This is Richter Belmont. His recovery.
I saw him
sucks.
down near the arrow.
You ever seen Smub Squid Plumber? Remember that set? Yeah. Okay. 3%. All right. 3-6. Oh my God. It sucks. On the down air and the double down air. You got it. Oh my God. Holy crap. Glory. Dude, that was so clutch. Holy crap.
Look. It's fine.
Double down air. Who's that guy?
Well, it was locked in. I mean, that's
Shout out to
pretty
Glory.
normal.
That was really good.
What? Yo, Min is like, nah, you didn't hit that. Nope.
Ooh.
He
did it.
That did.
Also to ledge.
Like, I've literally friendly already set in stone. I would be surprised.
Already
Oh,
overstock.
I love his raw back airs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Bowser is
honest.
Such a raw character.
My
I love
brain can't
characters where it's just
fathom
like,
Glory losing
first off, they don't
a
suck,
set to
and second,
KB.
like, they have,
It might have happened,
like,
but my brain
Okay,
can't fathom
okay,
it.
DDD going for hammer is wrong.
I don't know if
okay,
it
yeah,
happened.
but like, I like it when
Actually, after seeing that jab,
like,
whatever,
but
I can fathom
Very
it.
soon. I hope y'all are locked in from. You play back. Glory recognizing it beautifully. Looking a little lost.
Yeah, a little.
Taking too much.
Like, I, yeah, just keep in mind, if KB wins this, this is games.
A shouldn't
Oh
go?
gosh.
Okay, wait, did he just jump?
Nice.
No, okay.
Yeah.
No grab, no nothing,
No,
no
he's
hello.
alive. Timed. Okay. Glory needs to pull this out.
Press a button.
Can he just get this edge up? No, get up attack. Able to
All right,
back air. He's still alive.
I mean, I would be shocked if
This
Kevin
is
doesn't win this
stressful.
game.
Both of them
I don't
definitely
understand
feeling
why.
it. Both of them all they need is one hit.
I don't
Is
understand
that it?
why.
Game and KB wins the tournament.
I don't understand why he's positioning himself like that off stage. What? Sorry, I'll give out a smash shot in a second. In a second. Is this the neutral get up? This is the neutral get up?
Yeah.
No?
KB.
No, okay.
Yeah.
It's somewhere around here.
If KB wins this, this is game.
Here?
Oh gosh.
Oh, there's the arrow. Is this arrow? Why did we move at all? Like, we just wait. I don't understand. And like, okay, sure, maybe this time, like, you make that mistake. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Tournament right. He got back air.
But then it happens again.
Ooh.
Like, you're on stage, and why are we moving so early? You just wait. I don't. What?
This is
Like, am I crazy? Like, I don't understand. Like, like, the reason that you would ever go for something like this is if you're gonna like fake an up B to ledge early and then just fall off and do like back air or down air or something like that. Like, sure, right? But otherwise, you just wait on stage and then you just run off and you press the downward aerial button.
No, okay.
And like, if it doesn't,
what are you doing?
if it doesn't, if you don't take the stock, it's fine because they're in the air. Like, they would be very high in the air because it's they're at 150. The same thing here. Like, you would just wait. And you just run off and do the downward aerial. But the moment you commit to like going off stage, you have to start using your jumps to readjust yourself. I don't know. Anyway. Nice. KB in 1. All right, let's log back in.
At 9th place, Akola moved. Sonics defeated Tweak 3-1, eliminating Tweak at 9th place. Yet another top 8 seed eliminated. And with Sonics taking the last place in top 8, the final Luminosity player in this bracket. MKLeo had placed 17th, and Mars and Tweak both placed 9th, with Sonics, the last LG member standing, guaranteed 7th. And just like that, we have our top 8. In winner semifinals, we had Spargo versus Hurt and Shattuck versus Raru. And in losers eighths, we had Sonics versus Akola and Yoshidora versus Ashimo. Mexico, Shattuck from the USA, and Sonics from the Dominican Republic, being the last bastion against the 5 Japanese reps who had clawed their way into top 8. And all of the chaos that had come before.
He was always second.
The number
True.
1, 6, 9, and 10 seeds were gone. The biggest story of the weekend, Mars, was out at 9th, and your favorites here at Luminosity Gaming were down to their final hope in the form of Sonics. At this point, the stream went on a massive break, a whopping 4 hours until top 8
I didn't see
began.
him do that down
All
there.
of our
I
remaining
stopped watching
competitors
him
had a long time to
at some
prepare,
point.
to train, and to ready themselves, because they all wanted the same thing, to win Supernova 2024, but only one of them would come out on top. Top 8 got underway, and the first set to start off this final round of competition
I
was
can't
Yoshidora
believe
versus
how
Ashimo
clutch
in Losers 8.
Ashimo had
Game
been
1
this
saw
entire
Yoshidora
event.
take the early lead, taking Ashimo's stock within 30 seconds of the game. This created an early lead that Yoshidora carried all the way to a Game 1 victory. Game 2 was quite the response from Ashimo, who went up 3
Does
stocks
Gavin
to 1
O'Crones
against
beat Sonics on
Yoshidora, a
Sunday?
momentum shift that Ashimo translated into a
I
win
don't
for
think-
Game 2. Game 3 was much more competitive, going completely even on the last stock. But a whiffed F smash from Yoshidora was all Ashimo needed to close it out. And once again, a massive response in the next game, as it was Yoshidora's turn to go up
I remember
3 stocks
DM was
to
like,
1. An
was that true?
insurmountable lead
I think that was
led to
DM.
Yoshidora bringing us to a 5th.
And even during this part, DM was
An
like,
insurmountable lead that led
I
to
thought I heard my
Yoshidora
wife, but
bringing
I
us
guess
to
I
a
didn't.
5th
Sorry.
and final game. Said 5th and final game was as close as could be, the two competitors going dead even. And at the last moment, Ashimo clutched out Game 5 against
Bro, we
Yoshidora,
just got
going
hit by a
dead
raw
even.
back
And
air.
at the last moment, Ashimo
Like-
clutched out Game 5 against Yoshidora, winning the set 3-2 to move on in bracket and eliminate
Like just a
Yoshidora
raw
at
back
7th
air.
place. The next set was Akola going up against Sonics, the 2nd versus 3rd seed. And as has so often been the case at this tournament, this set could have been grand finals at any other major. But instead, number 1 and 3 in the world were playing for 7th place. This set was, predictably, pretty slow, both players going to their last stop higher minute. Game 1 going to Sonics. In Game 2, both competitors lost
Why
their
did
first
people-
stock
did
3
people
minutes into
think-
the game. This set clearly becoming a war of
Did
attrition.
people
But
think
in the last
that
stock,
Sonics was gonna
Sonics
lose?
got super aggressive, ending Game 2 with a spike and going up 2-0. Game 3 started off as the only game
I
of
thought
this set
they were
that
projected to
wasn't
meet in
dead
winners,
even.
and I thought he
Sonic
was
starting
gonna,
off with
if
a
they play in
massive
winners, he
lead
was
and
gonna
extending
win.
it to go
I
up
don't
3
know.
stocks to 1. And with such a big lead, Sonics won Game 3, sweeping the best player in the world 3-0 and eliminating Akola at 7th place as the 2nd seed. But before we can catch up with Sonics and Ashimo in losers quarters, we have to see who they'd be facing by taking a look at winner semifinals. First set of winner semifinals was Spargo versus Hurt, the rematch from grand finals of Battle of BC6. And though things were close for the first stock, eventually Spargo got a lead that he carried all the way to a Game 1 victory. Game 2 started off with a massive lead in the first 40 seconds coming out from Spargo, who seemed like a different beast this set. And with a lead like that, Spargo's win in Game 2 was inevitable. Game 3 started even, but
Spargo was
Spargo
kinda
barely
locked
missed
in.
a recovery on his second stock, very suddenly being at a. As Game 3 started, Spargo took an insane early lead.
I
with
mean,
a
from
spike,
this
going
point
up
of the
3 stocks to
video-
1 against Hurt. And Spargo finished the set with a classic finishing touch, using Flare to defeat Hurt 3-1, moving into winners finals and casting Hurt down into losers against Ashimo. The other side of winners semifinals was Shattuck
From
versus
this point,
Raru,
like,
a
I
new
mean,
matchup we haven't seen before, and with Raru definitely being the big breakout in this top 8. Game 1 demonstrated that despite Corrin's big disjoints, Raru's advantage state was good enough to get Raru an entire stock lead, which he was able to ride all the way to a Game 1
Bro,
victory.
Raru be
Game 2
hitting
saw
the
Shattuck respond
craziest
very
stuff.
clearly, taking an early lead against Raru in the first
But, like,
minute
this
of the game.
matchup-
But despite a valiant effort,
Raru
and
ran
comeback,
into some
Shattuck
tough
managed to close out
matchups.
Game 2. Game 3 started
In,
with both competitors going even on their second stocks,
in
close as
top
could be.
8.
But Shattuck picked
But I
up
feel like
the
that's
lead in a
Luigi.
major way, going up 2-1 with a dominant
you
Game 3
can't
win.
avoid them in
Game
the entire
4 was
bracket.
Raru's turn to take a massive
Ooh,
lead, going up
ooh,
3 stocks to 1 over
ooh.
Shattuck with an insane combo, a Game 5 seeming inevitable. But amazingly, Shattuck managed to make a
did what he
3-stock
does.
comeback, winning the set over Raru 3-1 to advance into winners finals against Spargo, and sending Raru down into losers against Sonics. Our first set of losers quarters was Ashimo versus Hurt, a very common matchup over in Japan. And in Game 1, Ashimo started off with a big lead against Hurt. And in a tense DBZ moment, Ashimo closed it out. Game 2 saw the pace slow down considerably, The
That
first
Smash
stock
definitely
being
took us up.
taken a minute
Shadow
and a
is
half
show
into
number
the
one for
game,
USA.
but that didn't stop Ashimo from also taking
We
game
will
2
see where
with
he
a
ends
crazy
up
burst
by the
Hanzo.
end of
As has
this
been the
season.
pattern so far in this set, game 3 saw the competitors be dead even,
Oh, at
losing their
Supernova?
first
Yeah.
stocks at near the same time. But Hurt
I'm
was finally
curious
able
where
to
he'll
get his
end
name
up.
on the board,
He's very
taking
good.
game 3. In game 4,
He's very, very
Ashimo truly
consistent.
became a different beast, going up 3 stocks to 1 against
Oh.
Hurt and eventually
Oh.
winning the game, defeating Hurt 3-1 to eliminate the 4th seed at 5th place and to move into loser semifinals. To see who he'd be fighting, we have to see the other side of losers quarters. Sonics versus Raru, our final
I was
set
saying
outside
when
of
I
top
saw them
4, started
talking,
off with a crazy stock exchange near
I was
the bottom
like,
of the stage. But with
you
Sonics
think
having a whole
Japanese
stock
players
lead,
got
he
mad
took the
beef?
game dominantly.
Like, there are some
Game
Japanese
2
players that
saw
just don't
Raru's
like each other.
controller unfortunately disconnect, but good guy Sonics let it go and just continued the game without taking a stock, only to immediately lose a stock of his own, which was quite hilarious. But ultimately, Sonics
I'm
ended up
positive.
taking game 2 anyways, going up 2-0 in the set. Game 3 saw Sonics go up
Mia
early,
doesn't
and
like
with so
Akola.
much momentum behind him, Sonics won game
Do
3,
people sometimes not
3-0ing
like each
Raru
other?
to eliminate him at
Hey.
5th place as the 11th seed. And just like that, we were down to
Is
4.
that the case?
Spargo and
A lot of people
place
thought
as
this
the
was down
11th
smash.
seed. And just like that, we were down to 4. Spargo and Shattuck in winners finals, and Sonics and Ashimo. in
Spargo
losers
just sitting there
semis.
like, all right, let
Japan
me
went
get
from
ready. I
having
know I
5
gotta play
reps in top
Sonics.
8 to only 1. But we've still got to go from 4 players down to just 1 winner. Would Spargo or Shattuck make winner side grands? Could Ashimo continue to carry Japan's hopes?
Oh, this is
And look to just remains of Spargo versus Shattuck to see who would enter grands from winner's side and have a massive
Ooh.
chance of winning the whole tournament. And who would go down to losers, forced to fight either the Stone Cold Sonics or the
Get
Red
the exact
Hot
same hash
Ashimo.
shakes every
The
set.
set
In
began
top
with the 2
8, maybe.
competitors
No,
going back and
no.
forth, both of
Nuh-uh.
them being even as the
Did he?
last stock began. But ultimately, it was Spargo who
Let me
found the
see.
slight edge to take game 1. Game 2 started off with Spargo getting a big dunk to obtain an early lead.
I'm not
which
looking. I'll look
Spargo
at
carried
him.
all the way to take the game, going up 2-0 in the set. Spargo then proceeded to absolutely dominate game 3, going up an entire stock and then proceeding to not even break a sweat to win the game, defeating Shattuck in 3-0 fashion, moving into grand finals from winner's side and casting Shattuck down into losers finals. To see who Shattuck would have to face here, we have to see loser semis. Ashimo versus Sonics. Sonics versus Ashimo.
Did anybody think that Ashimo is gonna win this? Like anybody? You know, if I were at SmashCon, I probably could have made some money. Just side betting. Like, come on, man. Like, there's some stuff where it's like almost predetermined outcomes. Like, ain't no way Raru was coming close to being Sonics. I'm sorry. Like, it's not even because of Sonics. Like, it's partially that, but I just watched Raru versus Wrath a couple days ago. It was not close. It was not close. This matchup sucks.
Started off with Ashimo getting an explosive stop
this
to
is
start
like-
off game 1, showing
I've
clear
played-
knowledge in this very rough matchup.
I've
And with
played
a
2
tragic
million
SD at the end of the
sets.
game, Ashimo went up 1-0 in the set. Game 2
I've
saw
played
the
2
2
million
competitors
sets
go
Sonics.
even on the
I'm
second
locked in.
stock, with 4.5 minutes left on the clock. But
To
after
me, really
Sonics
not
got a
like
bit of a
alcohol.
lead, he was able to ride it all the
Used
way
to
to
me.
a victory in game 2.
Somebody told me
Game
that at
3 was
SmashCon. I
much
was like,
closer,
really?
the 2 competitors going hit for hit throughout the game, and the last stock being even. But a missed tech off stage meant that Sonics went up in the set 2-1. Game 4 saw a crucial tide shift from the rest of the set, with Sonics now being the one taking a big lead in the beginning of the game, going up 3 stocks to 1 within a minute and a half. And with a lead like that, the vibes were unstoppable. Sonics defeating Ashimo 3-1, eliminating him at 4th place as the 12th seed, the lowest seed to make top 8 and the last rep for Japan falling. Ashimo has now made top 8 at the 2 P tiers to go down this season, Kowloon X Kagaribi and Supernova, making a
nice.
good case so far for top 10. Either way, Sonics now advanced into losers finding a very early lead, clearly still playing hot from his set against Ashimo. And although Shattuck almost made a big comeback, Sonics managed to close out game 1. Game
Shattuck
2
is
saw
Mr. Comeback.
Sonics being the one making a comeback, starting the last
Bro,
stock at a 60%
Sonics
deficit, but then
this
making
set-
a massive comeback to win the
Sonics this set had some of the craziest plays. Hold on. Let me lock in. Shattuck, Sonics. Let me lock in, y'all. Like, actually insane plays. Like,
No, at the very least, he's thinking, look, I'm back right now. Nice wing. Overwhelming. But here comes Sonic. Sometimes doesn't give you a choice in the matter. Immediately get back to stage with the up B. Solid stuff. Uh-oh.
Sonic, anyway, he does have a pretty big, effective recovery range in comparison to Shattuck here.
There, a nice little combo string going. Oh, speaking of devil, almost got there. There's some good counter hits, but here's some just good old bashing hits from Sonics. And these two putting on a show down throw. I love it.
Ooh, yeah, he definitely tried to snipe him.
And these two, there's some good counter hits, but here's some just good old bashing hits from Sonics. And these two
still and
away from
wait
the
a second.
Trying to build a that
preempt down that neutral air. Back air, neutral air up angle F smash a couple of times. Neutral air up airs too.
Who completely shuts down Sonic?
That setup, man, and loves getting some extra damage. Oh no, this is huge.
This is insane.
Oh, the counter.
Oh no, it's jump.
Damage.
That
this is huge. Oh, the counter
was insane. Because I feel like any other Sonic player in the world who had the idea to do, like, I don't know what this is called, man, the little spinny thing, like this, any other Sonic who had the idea to do this would have pressed forward air. They would have done it. They just would have done it. They would have gotten countered, and that would have been it.
Oh, the counter.
Bro just did nothing. Like, he knew the counter was coming.
His jump. He had to jump there though
and like because of the situation that he was like forced into because he did nothing. Bro had to jump. Because up B wouldn't. I don't think the start of up B would have gotten hit.
Counter.
Oh no, his jump. His jump.
The idea that
was waiting for the actually was his demise on those final exchanges. Let's look at doing
directly their way.
But the thing that stood out to me the most with Sonics this set was like just knowing, staring, like what the heck? Was just knowing when to be really aggressive off stage and when to be really defensive. And he's really good at that.
Throw it out in neutral and catch Sonics running in.
Like, why did he do that back air?
Maybe potentially throw it out in neutral and catch Sonics running in.
Oh no!
My goodness,
that's so deep. Like out of nowhere.
Right here. We got another one. Yes,
and then he just gets a stock off of it. Like, and all he did was forward air Shattuck at 41%.
Throw it out in neutral and catch Sonics running in.
Oh no!
My goodness,
just caught him lacking.
From
One thing that's interesting about Corrin that people don't really talk about much is that if Corrin's not in a position to up B, if Corrin's not in a position to up B, and someone is in the way contesting Corrin, it's really hard for Corrin to make it back and not get hit in the situation. Because the up B, the invincibility from it, for most moves, it's going to make it so the move doesn't hit Corrin. Because normally with like stuff like this, like let's say a classic example for my region is Wolf versus Ridley. If Wolf gets hit really far off stage and Ridley starts charging the fireballs, you just have to side B into it or up B into the fireballs and get hit. Then you can use your double jump and like play out the situation from there. But with Corrin, a lot of situations you can't do that and like use your up B to get hit and then play out the situation with your double jump and up B because of the invincibility at the start. So he just noticed, I guess he just noticed that like Shattuck would wait to go to a certain position first before using the double jump then up being, and he just went for the aggression here.
My goodness, the commitment from Sonics.
Okay.
And rinse and repeat right here. We got another one? Yes, we do.
That was a soft hit though. And yeah, he's not making it back. It was enough.
Yeah, I was just a little bit short. Good at just extending that trades with the up tilt does Shattuck. Still with
at the doorstep of at least getting into this grand finals. This is
from my
Anyway.
man Sonics as he takes it over. My man Shattuck, and I mean, in a very
I don't even know why
the game
I'm
and go up
watching this
2-0 in
video.
the set. Faced with the near impossible task of needing to reverse 3-0 Sonics, Shattuck was not deterred in the slightest, getting an early lead in this game 3. But after making yet another comeback, Sonics defeated Shattuck 3-0, eliminating him at 3rd place as the 7th seed, and with Sonics moving into grand finals from loser's side, after the best losers run of the entire tournament. This was it. Luminosity Gaming had managed to place a rep in Grands after everything that had happened. All of the chaos, all of the insanity, but some things still remain the same. The classic matchup of Spargo versus Sonics. Needing 2 sets to win, it's time to find out which of these horsemen would become your champion of Supernova 2024. Game 1 started off with
What are we,
Spargo
like, why does it keep doing
of
that? Like, we're
Supernova
going like commercial break or something.
2024. Game 1 started off with Spargo picking Aegis, and the game was somewhat even, but after Sonics found a crucial opening, he swept his way to a one-sided victory in the first game of the set. Game 2 saw something insane, something we had never seen before. Spargo went Roy, and the Spargo Roy started off phenomenally, taking the first stock of the game. Not only that, Spargo kept up that lead and took game 2 with Roy, a character we've never seen him use at a major like this. Sonics made some key adaptations in game 3, going up an entire stock over Spargo, eventually leading to Sonics taking the game dominantly. Spargo continued to use this pocket Roy in game 4, with the game being even during the second stocks. But with the JV2 to finish it off, Spargo took the game and brought us to a decisive game 5. Game 5 was the most explosive.
What am I? Like, it's not like Spargo's Roy is doing anything super crazy, or it's like really specialized or anything like that. It's just he's playing Roy and he's playing against Sonics, and he's very, very good against Sonics. I think he could do this with any of his characters on any given day. It just depends on how the characters are playing. I also think that Sonics could beat him on any given day on any of these characters. So it's just interesting that today, or that day, the Roy worked out. We'll see if it works out next time. Because I've seen, I mean, they play together a lot. I've seen him still winning with Corrin. I've seen him still winning with Aegis. He won with Roy. I don't really see him winning with Cloud, but I see him winning with the other characters pretty often. It's like, it just depends on who he can do it with that day. And maybe, I think with Aegis, he had the idea, like, hey, I'm going to try Aegis. If it works, it's lit. It worked against Ken. If all else fails, I have this Roy that I'll try that's been doing well. Because he did say in his interview that if Roy didn't work out and it went to a second set, that he didn't know what he was going to do, and he felt like he would probably lose. So who knows, like, who knows?
Explosive one of the entire set, with Spargo going up 3 stocks to 1 against Sonics. The Roy's Our Boy chants were deafening, the explosiveness of Roy was mind-shattering, and Spargo was unstoppable. With one last Jair, Spargo defeated Sonics in a game 5, popping off to eliminate Sonics at 2nd place, and with Spargo winning his first ever Supernova after pulling Roy out of literally nowhere. The most fitting chaotic end to this chaotic tournament for the ages. And while Sonics did have the greatest losers run of the tournament, sadly, it doesn't look like he's going to break his 2nd place curse just yet. Supernova was a new beginning for Smash, going to break
Goodness gracious.
his 2nd place curse just yet. Supernova was a new beginning for Smash in many ways. A new branding from the old Super Smash Con, a new ranking season, new breakouts for Japan Depth, new brand
Spargo not
yet.
drop a set?
Supernova was a new beginning for Smash in many ways. A new branding from the old Super Smash Con, a new ranking season, new breakouts for Japan Depth players, and a new character for Spargo to win a Premier Tier with. Will this continue in the future months? Was Roy just a matchup check like Cloud was at Watch the Throne? Or is this new counterpick serious? Will
What? What does that mean?
To win a Premier tier with. Will this continue in the future months? Was Roy just a matchup check like Cloud was at Watch?
Was Roy a matchup check like Cloud was? What does that mean? Is Roy a matchup check like Spargo's main was when he pulled it back out at Watch the Throne? Like, why didn't we say like Corrin was at Coinbox IRL? Wait, Sonic's won Coinbox IRL, right? When did he win? When did... I don't know when Spargo won with Corrin. I would do my research before I said something like that, though. Like, in a video like this, on stream, like, I'm just yapping. Trying to remember off the top. But he's done well with Corrin before. Might have been online, where he's beating him with Corrin. It might have been offline. Might have been both. But why didn't we use Corrin instead of, like, his actual main?
The Throne? Or is this new counterpick serious? Will Sonics ever win a major again? How will Mia, Akola, and Hurt underperforming hurt their rankings? There are many questions for the coming days, and the only way to answer them is to wait and see. But for now, that's going to be it for Supernova 2024, one of the craziest tournaments I've ever seen in my entire life. For now, that's going to be it for today's video. Until next time, dear viewers,
I'm kind of curious.
my name is Ristermice, and thank you all so very much.
Who would currently be ranked higher? Because... Oh yeah, I did see Sonic's pose. Hold on. You know what time it is. It's time for me to do something that actually does not matter at all, but it's just for the sake of knowing it's lit. We are simply going to listen to Kingdom Hearts music, because that is what I've decided. Specifically Kingdom Hearts 3. 1-1. I think those are the only people. I think Dora, no. Yeah, Dora is the only person that Dora's the only person that Spargo's played twice this season. So he has one losing record and it's with Aquila. I'm super quiet. Oh, that's my bad. What am I helping with? I'm very, very bored, and I'm curious to see who people think is currently ranked higher. I don't know why I'm so quiet. Give me 1 second. Hello? Oh, wait. No, it's still. Hold on. Bum, 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 bum. Much better. I think I'm just a lot closer, and I'm looking at the mic when I'm speaking, because I usually don't. But actually, if I just move this over here, and then I move chat over here, then it's probably easier for me to look at the mic when or look toward the mic. Okay, so then what do we have? We have Sonics. Sonics has only wins from the SmashCon. I'm just gonna look up my tweet. Actually, let me see if I can remember. It's Jazzo. This isn't in order, it's just what's coming to my head. Jazzo, or let's go backward. Shattuck. I'll put Vivid. Thank you, API. You got it. Wait, man. I do not know if I'm putting Vivid. I'll put Vivid for now, but Vivid might get deleted. And then losses are Snow and Spargo, which is really funny. So he's 0-1 versus Spargo, 0-1 versus Snow, which honestly probably tells me everything I need to know. But he's also 1-0 versus Aquila though, which is very important. He's also 1-0 versus Mia and 1-0 versus Tweak. What rank was Jazzo? Was Jazzo in the, I think it was like right outside of 50? 60th? 60th? Okay. 60th. Rauru was very high. It was like 11 or something like that. Yeah. 11th. Shattuck is 7th. White is 10th. Mia is 2nd. Tweak is 5th. 15th. First. Bro, ain't no way Vivid's on here. I'm sorry. Tom P up 86 is crazy, and not only is it crazy, it's crazy that they jumped 86 and they didn't win most improved at Supernova. Or Shattuck didn't win most improved at Supernova. Hurt won it. Bro went up 15 spots. Shattuck went up, I think, like 44 or something. 37. Oh, he was 44. Went up 37. Tom P up 86. Rauru up 38. Hurt went from top 20 to top 5, and they said, hey, most improved. True. To be fair, breaking into top 5, that area is very, very difficult. But yeah, Vivid's not on here, so we're just gonna first, second, fifth, seventh. Is that everyone? I missed someone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, 5. I was like, didn't he be 5 top 10 players? I'm trolling. Okay, so these are the only tournaments of the season, oddly enough, because it just started. Smash Factor counted for last season. I think Kowloon, Kagaribi counted for this season. I don't think one very important thing in relationships is make sure you never stop going on dates. It's random tidbit, but yeah. I was like, hey, we need to set up a date tonight if we can. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so we have Snow. We have Masa. We have level 1. We have Beast Mode Paul. Shuton. I think that's it, right? Beast Mode Paul, Shuton. Is that really? Are those like the only people that? Let me see if they are on a trade. Nope. All right. Mia does not have they do have wins, but they do not have wins. I didn't even realize that. Like these are Mia's wins. That's actually crazy. Aquila wins. Let me check. Beastly, are you up there? Beastly! No. Beastly's the GOAT. Tsubaki's gotta be in a top 100, right? Yeah, okay. So I guess we'll just go to Aquila's wins. So, Tsubaki. I really hope this doesn't get ugly. Gacked. Zach, Ray, Dora, Migi, Dora, Spargo, Mia? Yeah, one win. One set win on Mia. And then SmashCon was pretty good because Aquila was able to get some good wins there. Leo, Dubuzz, year, and kind of Mia too, but Mia's a lot less consistent in North America than Aquila is. Another thing, it was good, Tune. How you living, brother? Another thing that really sticks out to me is obviously Sonics has only gone to one event. But Sonics has some insane wins, right? Like, obviously, like, we're not going to be able to rank anybody based on this. Sonics has some insane wins, but he does have a losing record with Snow and Spargo currently. This event is absolutely incredible. This one event is incredible, but it's only made this way because he lost, and then he started winning, which brings into question, like, is it beneficial to lose and still win the event? If you lose to, like, let's say you lose to a top 20 player, is it beneficial to lose and then win or, like, get second? Yeah, it depends on the loss. That's why I use the top 20 player for sure. But, like, that's stupid. Sorry, like that just sounds dumb. Like, or, like, even getting second. You know what I mean? Like, why are you rewarded for losing? Like, you just lose and you just start winning again? Like, how is it not more impressive that someone didn't lose at all? Like, it's not Spargo's fault that he just beat everybody. You know what I mean? Like, he just simply won. My bad. Like that, like, how is that on him? He's like being punished because he won. So who went down 99? Goodness. Oh, I see it right here. I didn't even notice that. That's crazy. They shouldn't have that. I mean, people can calculate it, but, like, that's when people start saying you fell off and you washed and stuff. That's not nice. I'll probably end in, like, 10 minutes, because I do, like, if we're gonna go out, like, I've been sitting in front of a computer screen sweating. I get really sweaty, unfortunately. I wish I didn't. But, like, I sweat easily, so I always have to take a bunch of showers. And, like, I have, like, when I go to events in my bag, I have, like, 2 different deodorants. Like, I have a spray deodorant and a stick deodorant because I just sweat so much. Sucks. But it is what it is. Anyway, like, I think Sonics would have gotten those points if the other top players didn't get upset. Yes and no. In the sense that he would have gotten these specific wins, like he wouldn't have got the first, blah, 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 right? He wouldn't have gotten those. But for how early he lost, he's more likely to continue to play top 20 players. Like, if he didn't play Light, then he would have played Ken. That's a top 27 player. But right after that, who did he play? We can actually just go and look. I think he played Mia after that. Mia would have been, what, Mars? who would have been Siski. What is Siski? Is Siski even ranked? I'm sure he is. Oh, but if it weren't Mia, it would have been Shuton or Siski. And Shuton probably would have won. Who did Shuton get upset by? Was it... This is a strange event. Rauru? Okay, so you would have played either a top 10 player regardless, right? So you would have gotten a top 10 win already off the bat after getting like a top 30 win, and then you would have gotten another top 10 win. This isn't an upset. It was seeded to be this way. So you would have either gotten a top 5 or a top 4 win. And then instead of Akola, you would have had to play Yoshidora. You would have played Shattuck, which is another top 10 win. It just wouldn't have been a top 1 win. And then this would have been, I don't know, another top 10 win because it was seeded to be, or really it was seeded to be Sonics. So like at this point, this would have been the point where he was supposed to lose and he would have started getting wins. But he was able to get potentially 3 more top 10 wins early because he just lost. And like, cool, I guess. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, is that fair that he just gets rewarded for losing? Oh, I got 3 top 10 wins. Spargo would have had better wins if Mars didn't upset. That's also true. Spargo would have 1 better win. So this Mars 75th would be what, Siski? Or was he supposed to play, I can't remember. Oh, it just would have been Mia. So he would have gotten 1 better win. Yeah, he would have got 1 better win in Mia. And granted, I mean, Mia is an insane win, number 2. So let's say instead it would be, this wouldn't be here. It would be like this would be Mia at 2nd, right? This would be Mia at 2nd, and this would be, let's just for the sake of this be like, I don't know, Mars or something at 75th. Okay, now which one looks more impressive? And I don't even think it would have been Mars. It would have been probably Shuton. But let's just for the sake of it, we switch these 2 out. So now Spargo looks more impressive, do we think? Or do we think that Sonics looks more impressive? So now Spargo looks more impressive because Mia also didn't get upset. Like, again, how is that Spargo's fault? Spargo looks more impressive both ways. Like, my thing is, how is it that like, I think if we looked at hold on, an example, let me see if I can find it. Oh gosh, I have to go through all my mentions. 1 second. Oh my gosh, I didn't know Scott was at SmashCon. Tantalus. Dang it, that sucks. I didn't get to see him. I did not get to see all these tweets, I'm gonna be honest. So let's look at this, right? This is Hurt at Kagaribi. This is like the scoring tournament runs, which is part of the algorithm for the ranking. If we look at it, we can see that Hurt had the highest one, right? They got second. They handed Akola 2 of their 4 losses that season. They lost the tournament. Tamiya, who's in 7th. For the, I don't know if y'all can see it. This is Dearly Beloved, but it's the Union X version. But okay, so we can see that Hurt has the highest scoring tournament run of the first half of the season. He got second to Mia, who's in 7th for the highest scoring tournament run when he won that event. I'm pretty sure because of Sonic's run at this event, he has the highest scoring tournament run despite him getting second. And it's probably going to look something similar to this, where like Spargo won the event, but he didn't really do anything. Like he beat Sonics. Sonics was his highest rated win, and then Hurt. And after that, I mean, he beat Shattuck. So he got 3 top 10 wins, but ooh, best viewer zone. What? Lock in. How is it that the gap between Hurt's run and Mia's run is a little over 30 points? What? That's like, dude, that is insane. Like, look at all the other P tier winners, right? Zomba at Genesis is 133. Akola at Delta was 132. And you just see Kagaribi, bro, sitting at 108. What? There's one other P tier. Where is it? I don't remember all the P tiers of the first half. Delta, Kagaribi, Genesis, and there's one more. Anybody remember? Was it Kowloon Sumabato? Port. Oh. Wait, what? Regardless, like, that's just so, I don't know, man. Like, the idea of getting punished for losing, for like winning through winners is just, it's weird to me. Like, I just, like, in the grand scheme of things, right? In the grand scheme of things, if we look at the span of an entire season, if Spargo won every event through winners, without sets dropped, then obviously he would be number 1. Because he's just not losing to anyone. And if this happens over and over and over, then sure, he'll be number 1. But realistically, if we're being like you think API, I mean specifically the difference between Hurt getting second at Kagaribi 12 and Mia winning Kagaribi 12, the 30-point gap is insane. That is insane. Like, we're just like, again, we're rewarding losing and then winning. Like, what? And like, we gotta think about, like, over the course of a season, matches like this aren't gonna happen too often, right? Like Akola versus Sonics or Akola versus Sprite. It might happen once, maybe twice. So like, though that 1 or 2 wins, like, it makes a big difference in the end. And it sucks that, like, you're able to lose and be like, okay, well, I have a higher chance of playing this person because I just get more sets against people. Like, conversely, if we look at what the projected bracket was supposed to be, I think Sonics was here. Sonics was Snow. Sonics still would have gotten his Raru win. Would have gotten his Aquila win. Shiny Marks run at is higher than some of the P-tiers. That's also very interesting. Like, and that's why I tweeted in, one of the responses I had to someone who, when I was talking about Lumi ranking for the first season, I said, what's the point of tiering the tournaments? Like, it's like, why do we put like such a big emphasis on the tournament tier when like some S+ tiers are worth more than P tiers, and some like wins just because it happened at one event is worth, like, I don't get it. Like, it's all so confusing to me. But anyway, okay, so let's say this is Sonics. Sonics would have gotten a Snow win. So let's say we replace, let's say we drop this, right? This Snow win wouldn't be there, it would be at the top. So it would be, Snow would be up here. This wouldn't be here. And then Raru win, which they already have. This was supposed to be Aquila, so it'll be an Aquila win, which they already have. But let's say they were projected to lose, so then they would have an Aquila loss. But more likely than not, let's be realistic here, they would have been Aquila. They would have had an Aquila win. So they would have lost this Ashimo win. They would have lost the Mia win. They would have lost the Light win. And they would have traded a top 10, a top 2, a top 15 win for a top 20 win. Because they just would have beaten Shattuck. They just would have beaten Shattuck in like losers finals or something like that. And then they would just have 2 losses to Spargo instead. Potentially. Like, let's say it played out that way. Let's say it played out that way. And this was the tournament. They also would have lost this Tweak win. Oh no. Oh no, I'm old. Alright, let's say it looked like this. I think 18th. This would have been Sonics' run had he won through winners. Or like made it to Spargo through winners. A Snow win. A Raru win, which he got through losers. Probably an Aquila win. And then he plays Spargo in winners finals. Let's say he loses. And then he plays Shattuck, so he still gets the Shattuck win. Potentially. And then that's it. So these would be his wins. But because he lost, he got a Tweak win, a Mia win, a Light win. Like what, like how, and we trade that for a Snow win? Like are we not, like, does that, am I crazy? Like, does that not sound like absolutely insane? Like, we just got more wins, and like that matters so much more than our losses. Because granted, we got a top, what's it called, loss. We got a top 20 loss, but we got 3 wins to make up for it. What? Like, all good. Is possible Lumi rank takes this into account? I think if I look at these point totals, when I talk about the rankings, yeah. I think if I look at these point totals for highest scoring run, I'm a little nervous. Now, they probably do take it into account. I would really hope that they take it into account. But when I look at stuff like, oh gosh, let me bring up some player cards. We have to go outside the top 10. We gotta go outside the top 10. This is too much. This is too much. Top 10's too much. Top 10's too good. Alright, let's lock in, right? Golly, Zachary's a goat. What are the cards? Honestly, how is T16? Half the time it took a top 10 player to beat T? Maybe. Okay, sure. Like, okay, let's look at this, right? Ashimo is 7-18 versus the top 20. In 24 and 29. No, not 16. That would be crazy. Ashimo is 7-18 versus the top 20. In 24 and 29 versus the top 50. Like, he has a losing record versus all of his peers, right? But Ashimo has 2 hurt wins. Ashimo has a bunch of wins, right? And is pretty consistent at these tournaments. Now, a point that I raised was, if someone is negative versus these players, right? Like, they have a negative win-loss versus these players, it shows that they're more likely to lose if they play someone in the skill range than they are to win. It's just by the numbers, right? So how is it that even though they get these wins, it counts? Like, think of it in the form of like a local PR, right? Let's just use a local PR, for example. If you are looking at your local PR and there's someone that is going, like, they're consistently getting like 7th or 5th through losers, right? So they play someone, they lose early to someone who normally goes like 3-2 or something like that. Let's say it's like a 48-man local usually, right? Let's say they lose to someone who consistently goes 2-2 and 3-2, right? They go to losers and they usually make a run because, I don't know, they get mad in losers, or they warm up the more they play or something like that, and they get wins. They get wins every now and then. You wouldn't put that person at the top of your PR. You'll put them at the lower part of your PR, because realistically, like, they're not actually performing. They're not winning events. When all the heavy hitters show up, they perform even worse than normal. You know what I mean? Like these A plus tiers and A tiers in Japan usually don't have all the heavy hitters. They have a couple of the heavy hitters who are worth so many points that it just pushes it over the edge. So, like, yeah, they're probably gonna get like 3rd or 4th at their A tier. But realistically, like, when the people who actually like are performing show up, they're more likely than not gonna show up. Obviously, Ashimo just performed at SmashCon, but like I see these records and I'm like how is this like we're 11th in the world? What? Like we're 05, like how, like who? They're just all negative win rates. Like, I mean, that's why I was getting so mad when I was going through it, because I was just like, bro, these people are losing. But maybe that's just what this area is. Except for this person whose sample size is too small. And they got a 33rd one time. Bro. All good. And their best win is Sonics. My bad. My bad. Like, I just... All good. Ours will be top 10 once they start traveling more? Probably. They all just have 20 cents. They all have wins on each other. Hold on. Like, look at this card. Look at this card, right? 9th, 33rd, 49th, blah, blah, 7th, 3rd, the 3rd, 8 tiers, blah, blah. Right? Like, look at this card of someone who's 26. And you know what? Let's not even use the placement. Let's use their points. 64.29 points. This person who's 8 points above them. Like, look at their card. Like, it's not that much different. I don't know. Rankings are tough, man. Anyway, what's really important to note is please look at what Sonics' run would have been if he won through winners, and like, or like not won through winners, but got second through winners. Like, we lose so many wins because you play less sets. You simply just play less sets. Like, mathematically, when you win through winners, you play less sets. The earlier you lose, the more sets you play. So you just have more chances to play the people. Like this. Mia's having a rough season, by the way, but 2 Alcola wins. Yeah, whatever. But Mia's having a rough season. Anyway, it's 6 o'clock. I need to go get ready. I'll be back tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I've just simply decided that I'm just going to open my stream. Every time, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just gonna open my stream, like, because if I don't, and I sit there and I plan for a day and a half. Hold on, let me before I open my stream, before I end my stream, this is what I do. I can't help but start yapping. What I really want to do for a stream and then like chop it up is I really want to analyze specifically over the years and Spargo versus Sonics and come up with like I really want to do like a deep dive of like why Spargo specifically is so successful against Sonics with so many different types of characters, even though they're all swordies. But okay, look, hold on 1 second. Let me open this. Oh, that says I many other games. That should say in many other games. I many other games. Window capture. Bro, I'll just add a new source. I didn't want to add a new source, but I'll just add a new source real quick. I do stuff like this all the time where I will write, like, I'll start writing like a whole script thing, freak out, be like, this is stupid, and then I won't lock in the idea. I already saved that. I don't know if y'all saw that. I have quite a bit of them actually. I just start yapping. Something comes to my head and then I'm like, this is stupid. I'm just not going to I'm not gonna post it or talk about it. Like, I gotta stop. I gotta stop, man. The amount of times I've seen something, like someone said something or something happens, I'm like, that's annoying. I came up with like something about it beforehand, didn't post it, and now nobody knows, and now it looks like I'm just talking about it because it's like a thing. It's way too many to count. So I will simply just post the stuff, and if it's not great looking, and if it's not like the best edited or whatever, like, it's all good. I just have to yap at myself and tell myself every day, because I don't know, I'm just way too hard on myself. Anyway, I have to go. But I appreciate y'all just stopping by. I'll probably be doing more of like these things where like stuff like this. I don't know, I just think it's really fun. Or like figuring out like what's, most of them are kind of the same. Because they try to use like, I guess, like the most popular openings and stuff. So you end up opening versus ending. That's interesting. Hold on, let me lock in. I'm only gonna do like 3, and then I'm actually in the stream.
Like when those
Oh, is it of the same anime? Oh, this one's kind of sleepy. Oh, actually this one's not sleepy. All right, chat, just real quick. Would y'all save this? Or would you save this? Because I'm actually kind of curious to see what y'all would do. I know what I would do, but it's always interesting to see how people feel about stuff. JJK, they're both JJK. Wait, what? Are you just excited for JJK? Oh. Hey, what's up? It's good to see you. I'm about to end the stream. Anyone is just more fun. Scribbly's locked in. Scribbly is locked in. Yeah, I would it's one of the best endings of all time, I would say. I would definitely save the ending for this. I'm sure there's like more interesting ones, but I'm not gonna go through all these. I don't know, stuff like this is fun to me. Slam dunk, Woj. Oh, my friend and I, well, they hadn't seen it, but I was rewatching it with them. I need to lock that in. All right, anyway. It was nice hanging with y'all. Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Wait, what's tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. If y'all come through. Anyway, see you.